What's up guys, it's JP and Jake from Digi Down Under coming at you with some starter deck gameplay from BT8. We have Imperial versus Mastemon. I am piloting Imperial and Jake's playing Mastemon. It's a best of 3 we had the other day with some crazy gameplay.
So I start off this game evolving the Ghazi, playing TK. This is a sort of a deck list that I first came up with when testing the deck prior to having a Teams event, which we played last weekend. But yeah, a few changes since then, but the deck did play really well against Imperial, which I thought would have been a hard matchup.
Yeah, we've definitely tinkered with lists since then. I did manage to get a 4-0 at our local, shout out to Dragon's Lair at Salisbury. With Imperial, I had with some slight changes to what's played in this video, but it's still Imperial. The core list is pretty similar, but yeah, I'm just setting up there with a Blue Memory Boost and a Davis, getting ready to sort of go for that big play all in one turn.
Having Digimon turn 2 was super valuable. So like it's the key piece of this deck. If you don't see that card early on in the game, you sort of struggle to set up because this deck does require a lot of memory to get going. But once you do have the Digimon in play, it's quite easy to do some big turns.
Yeah, so there I am, just grabbing all the pieces I can grab. So we have our Memory Boost, we have our 3, and I've got the XVmon in Raising Area, so we just need to make sure we have the Stingmon ready.
So just going to swing the Tapiamon here, hoping that it dies, but it doesn't.
It's a second Davis, helps me pick up some more stuff.
But at least getting some chip damage in early, just trying to keep the aggression up. Going into the Lady Debbie there for 1 cost is just ridiculous, and the 1 of Eismon coming down there.
All the combos coming together.
This game involves a lot of thinking. Had a few backseat drivers through the games as well.
Yeah, this is, I guess when you play at locals, you know, you have people watching, pressure is added on, so it's a little bit different, you know, you think about things a little bit more, but you're still thinking.
Still having to think here. I did cut some of this stuff out later, but just going to go with another Gatomon. Still missing, I think, the yellow, so yeah, hitting 2 more Gatomons, which is nice, but not really what we're looking for here.
And I'm going to go for the that classic Imperial play of promoting XVmon, going into Stingmon, so we know what's coming up next. Debating whether or not to go for a cheeky swing with XVmon. Obviously we have jamming, but against a deck like Mastemon you do run the risk of hitting Chaos Degrade or Flame Hell Scythe, but we do swing, then Jogress into that Paildramon.
Just cleared off the Tapiamon there, giving me a draw, and then he's going to bottom deck the Gatomon, of course. That has jamming, but still has the risk of dying to security.
Yeah, we do. That's the biggest thing in this matchup, especially, is the option cards that they do run. They still do present a threat. Even Flame Hell Scythe with jamming, still, you know, sometimes that neg-6 might come to hurt you on the crackback. But yeah, I'm going to swing at him. I'm pretty sure I have a Dragon mode that I managed to pick up off one of those search cards. So I'm just going to go into that to pass my turn here. And you know, just keep the ball rolling, keep my my board wide so that he can't sort of play an option and delete everything I have. So we're just gonna get the Vmon and the Stingmon out there.
Besides, obviously spit out the Vmon and not the XV to keep that Imperial having jamming, which I think is a good idea, especially if he obviously has another XVmon in hand.
Yeah, it does mean I can swing with that Vmon next turn as well, hopefully get a jamming swing in, and then if I need to use a Lydramon for Jogress or something instead of the XVmon, we do still get a jamming swing prior to evolve, which is always nice, so extra damage, but Mastemon does hit my Dragon mode there.
So trying to think here how we can clear the board best. Obviously got 3 things we want to try and get rid of here. We also want to set up for next turn in case he does go for another big play and, you know, gets rid of everything else.
Yeah, it does not much to bottom deck there with Paildramon. I guess anything that gets played at this point is going to get bottom decked bar playing. Yeah, there it is, the Magna Engine one. It is 6k though, so it is still susceptible to Paildramon's bottom deck. But
just one of the recovery, just sort of thinking like how many swings you could get in next turn and how we could potentially survive this turn and not die.
So you can see there I sort of thought a little bit about whether or not to go for a swing with the XVmon prior to evolve, and I chose not to because I wanted to make sure if that XVmon had died I wouldn't have been able to get rid of the Magna Angemon, and I really wanted to make sure that he didn't have that Magna Angemon in play and try and prevent him from Jogressing. So it's a bit of a safe swing, but there we go, hit the Chaos Degrade out of security, so he puts my Paildramon away.
It gives him an extra recovery. Since this deck I've definitely taken that card out. I think it's just a shit card. It just gives him a free recovery out of security, essentially.
It does make for some interesting game scenarios where in an Imperial deck you have, you know, 6 security sometimes, but Yeah, it's an interesting card for sure. But I'm going to go into fighter mode there and bounce his stack. You can see I'm just doing everything I can to actually prevent him from getting that Mastemon on the board. Obviously, that's the biggest thing with Mastemon is how much sort of setup it can require to get that Mastemon on board. So if I can prevent him from doing it, it sort of keeps my game going pretty well.
Have the Gutsumon in raising, which is good. He's going to bounce back my
Ward
defeat.
Make it hard to play that.
With the 3 memory, we can do a lot here with the Gutsumon. Evolving for 1 is just ridiculous, and then discarding the Loosemon for Chaos.
Yeah.
Mode. Yeah.
Yeah, for anyone with Imperial, list advice I have since put in Syakomon to prevent, cost reductions. So that does help a lot in this matchup, making them evolve with their Gardamon for 3 cost. Hitting that Dual Tamer out of security also helps me out a lot there, but you do get the Mastemon finally.
Get the Mastemon. I think since this game I've taken the TK out and bumped Kari up. Just sometimes you go TK and you hit nothing. It's a bit dangerous, whereas you can play Magna, Angemon sometimes for 6, 5, even 4 cost if you have multiple Karis in play.
There's the Loosemon to shut down my fighter mode. I do still get a little bit of extra memory with that Dual Tamer, but just doing the classic play the Stingmon for 3 and Jogress. Again, could have swung with XVmon, but we're playing it safe here. Pretty cautious about dying to an option card out of security, so I'm going to go for the Powdramon and just try and ensure we get as little damage done to us as possible.
Hits nothing, and then hits nothing again.
So there you go. If I had swung with that XVmon, that's probably game for me right there. But hindsight's 20/20. It's always depending on the situation you're in, it's always good to play around their security if you know it's an option-heavy deck like Mastemon.
Bit more thinking going on here. He's just going to go into
a Dragon mode to pass turn. And
yep.
I do have the Dual Tamer to actually unsuspend that Dragon mode too, so he can't swing at it with the Mastemon there. Keeps my bodies alive on board. There we go.
Obviously, having Mastemon in play, we can play option cards to potentially, delete a lot of things on board. But yeah, we need to do a lot here to be able to to survive next turn.
Yeah, I mean, I do have nothing in raising, so I guess if the whole board gets cleared, it does stop me, but...
Gonna swing in here. Going to try and work a way to survive next turn. But I do believe I swing in here with Mastemon.
There's the evolve, putting yourself at 0. Swing with the Mastemon, and he does hit Ice Wall. So.
And we just scoop him up from there because I've got nothing else I can do. So that's going to conclude game 1.
Going to Imperial. I think you give me first here.
I think I'll give you first, yeah.
Yeah, I guess with Mastemon, you probably sometimes going second. Oh no, you are going first.
I am going first.
I was going to say sometimes Mastemon, it may not hurt to go second in case you do have to play, something for 6 costs on turn 1.
I think the thought process here is that if I give Imperial first, he can swing pretty early turn 2, whereas if I go first, it sort of stops him from setting up too much, and I can he can't really swing at me turn 1 essentially. So if I do have to play a Gutsumon for 5, he can't really do much about it.
It's true. Imperial's best bet in this matchup is to do as much damage as possible before they can set up. So you can see I've got the, I think that's the Lydramon in raising with the Davis and Ken, just maximizing my memory gain next turn so that if I do promote, I will get an extra little bit of memory. And he's given me a lot with that reinforcing memory boost too.
Yeah, sort of missing a few pieces, and plus having the memory boost later, getting an extra 3 memory is going to be super valuable later on. Struggling to pick the cards up there.
Bit tough. I think you showed me what was on security, and I still did not swing with XVmon there. So
yeah, that's right. I showed you it was a scatter mode, and you still didn't swing.
So always pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on in your games. That's an extra security that I definitely could have cleared easier. But I'm going to spit out the Lydramon, and am I leaving the XVmon? What am I thinking?
I think you're thinking.
There we go. Choose. Same thing as last time. Keep the XVmon under my Dragon mode so it gets jamming, and there we go. They're going to Jogress again here.
I don't think you do.
Maybe I'm setting up for next turn with the Jogress, but
so swing in here, hits Dead or Alive, but there's no level 5 in Trash to play. So
unfortunate to see that card early off your security.
Yeah.
I'm just digging for, I think that's the Powdramon there. Yeah, there it is. I'm digging for that. So I can try and Jogress next turn, bar him playing any option card shenanigans to kill my Stingmon.
So here I'm at 3, I can now go to 6, which allows me to play back there the Gatomon. Most of the time hits everything. You can evolve into Lady Devi, yep, it's probably the best one to evolve into. Getting that draw power, you can get the discard as well. Yeah.
Setting up some good things in trash as well. Magnanimon and Loosemon looks like.
Yeah, I thought about probably hard playing the Magna to get the recovery, but if I can put him at 3 and he can do a bit less with it, you know, allows me to. He can't extend his turns as much as normal.
It's true. And obviously with the board state I have right now, I'm going to get a lot of memory with the blue-green in play and the dual tamer and the memory boost active, so Jake's just trying to mitigate how much he gives me, I think.
And decided to delete the Lydramon there, at least if we killed the Steammon, he had another Steammon, he can hard play that for 3 versus having to hard play a XV for 5 or a Lydramon for 5 as well.
I think I've accepted this Stingmon is likely, it could be dead, or...
You have the boost there as well.
Yeah, so I might play it, go into that Powdramon. Obviously I've got nothing I can get rid of, but it's still just more chip damage that I can use to put him to, put him to 0 security. Obviously, you can see I've still got a fair bit of security, but I think maybe I'm missing that XV1 by playing the blue memory boost there.
Yeah, obviously has the Powdramon from earlier that he picked up, so just looking for the level 4.
Yeah, trying to grab a blue level 4, especially this deck in particular. We want jamming, but I'm just going to play Megadeth to get rid of his stack because I'm missing on that level 4 a little bit.
Puts me at 5 again, so again I can play Gatomon if I have it, and then evolve for 1, and pretty much wipe his board there. So there it is, Gatomon. Hitting another Gatomon, and I do have the level 5 in hand, I believe. Just seeing what I can sort of play from my from my trash to try and clear his board essentially. And there it is, putting it at 1.
1 memory. Goes
to 2, obviously with the Vmon coming out after, but then going to play Loosemon and wipe the board. Oh, playing Gatomon. Yeah.
There's the on play as well, grabs 2 more.
Yeah, so just setting up for future turns.
But yeah, I'm going to promote. I still have my memory, obviously. I can work with the memory boost and the tamer in play. So going into Stingmon there, really trying to draw into that blue 4 if I can pop my memory boost and get a Powdramon. I really need to get rid of this Gatomon, so...
Someone having a bit of a read of the card there, they weren't too sure that you could grab like any Digimon, like a purple or a yellow. They thought you had to be Angel or Fallen Angel, but they were wrong.
There you go. And clearly I give up on trying to hit my blue 4, and when you hard evolve into that Dino Beamon, I can see obviously he's got the setup there where he can go into another Mastemon if he's got the right cards in hand, so I'm just trying to get into my stack as quickly as possible, get another Dragon Mode on the board and start trying to get wider so we can put him at 0. But
and here if I do go on another Mastemon, I can play sort of any level 5 or even play the Flame Hell Scythe, killing off
my whole board.
The whole board, yeah.
Yeah, so this is really tough. Obviously you can see, without a regular Davis memory fixer, it really does hurt. So I'm only getting it this late in the game when he is pretty well set up, and we're still missing on a couple of things. Grabbing another Powdramon, obviously we always want to see that card in hand, but yeah, it's tough to play on the back foot against Mastemon for sure. I'm going to put you at 1 there, and
I think I just continue to set up, try not to swing too much here, and just sort of make sure that not much happens in the following turns. I think I top deck Mastemon, going to Jogress, I think I'm going to recover, or trying to think about what I want to do.
Yeah, and this is where it gets scary against Mastemon with Imperial, obviously, with 2 Mastemons in play, even with jamming, if we start swinging and we hit option cards where he can play something out of his trash, it means pretty big damage for me. So yeah, like I said, playing on the back foot if Mastemon can kind of get into its game too long is very, very tough win con. Definitely Megadeth helps out there, but there we go, swinging into a Hammer Spark with 4 things on board always hurts.
Yeah, and you can see here, my hand size is huge at this point as well, just getting the multiple draws, hitting multiple things off the Gatomons early is also great.
There's the Powdramon. No jamming on this Powdramon, so we are, pretty sort of scary situation to be in. We really don't want this guy to die. I'm just going to, DNA anyway to make sure he can't get another Mastemon going. 3 Mastemon would be pretty ridiculous, so thinking about whether or not to swing here with just this 8k. He does live, which is pretty clutch, so...
Doesn't swing again because he's going to use the HPD. Going to Dragon Mode unsuspending and popping out 2 more things.
Thinking about what I want to do. I think I have drawn a blue level 4 off of one of my draws in there, Stingmon or something along those lines. So yeah, there it is, the XV Jogressing again into another Powdramon to get rid of his Tapiamon and keep the game going.
I think my security on the next swing saves me, I believe.
I pick it too. There it is.
He does pick it.
He asks which one I
does bottom deck the Tapir.
Yeah, mitigating as much things off board as possible so that even if we do die, he can't guaranteed win next turn with 2 Digimon in play. Thinking a little bit here about whether or not to go for this last swing or what to do.
Also difficult with backseat drivers as well, and there it is, the Flame Pelt Scythe. So going to play level 5, recover 1, which I think you had Hammer Spark and Fighter Mode maybe.
I believe so. I believe there was a Hammer Spark Fighter Mode there to try and swing over one of the Mastemons, perhaps.
So now the Imperial's only 6k, or maybe not. Maybe I negged.
I think you negged the Powdramon.
The Powdramon instead.
But there's the Fighter Mode for.
And it is still suspended, just making sure there, because I probably will try and clear it here.
Obviously, he doesn't have game this turn. I think those are both Magnet Engemons. I don't think you have the +1 security to finish me this turn, so it's better off just to clear my board and ensure that he can win maybe next turn instead.
Yeah, so going to the defeat here. Going to kill off the Tamer, so he doesn't get 3, and then I believe I'm just going to trade in here and kill it.
Yeah, not a bad play. Obviously, you can see Jake's still got quite a good setup, and I am running out of resources there with stuff being deleted. So just going to set up and try and ensure his victory comes on the next turn. Swinging
here, do swinging here again, dies, and then I believe it is set up here for game next turn. Yeah, so playing the Gatomon. Give him 5, but he can't really do much with 5. Even if he does want to try and hard play a couple of 4s, it's going to be too much.
Yeah, the best we could sort of hope for here would be to maybe try and Mega Death the Mastemon back to his hand. We do obviously have the blue-green trigger with the Dual Tamer being on board, but I was only running 2 at this point, and I think I've actually cut it down to 1 now. In fact, I would rather play cards that help Imperial win rather than sort of shutting down my opponent. Just rather focus on the Imperial game. But I'm just going to play Davis and. There it is, the Mega Death, there we go. So get rid of his Mastemon stack and try and ensure he can't win this turn.
Yeah. But with Gutsmon in play, as we know, if we got the cards, which if you see my hand size there, it's enormous.
There's more cards in your hand than deck at this point.
Yeah, so we got plenty we can do. Gonna go Lady Devi, which is just gonna basically ensure that I have everything I need in hand.
So in the trash.
Gonna discard the Eismon, which I think gives me the game here, because we are going to think hard. I think we evolve here into the Andromon, the new one, the new BT8.
I think this is what we were saying. Realizing, remembering that you do have dual color evolutions and that the Andromon can evolve on purple. I think was what you were sort of thinking about.
Yeah, and I didn't really realize that until later. And then I also do run one of the Rush Gatomon as well. So we're gonna evolve here for 3, Jogress, pray we don't hit a Spark, and then play the Rush Boy as well.
Yeah, there it is.
So swing in here, hits nothing, and then the Rush just goes for game 2. So it's 1 apiece.
Yeah, this matchup it's a pretty even matchup, I would say. It's sort of a short game deck versus a long game deck. Imperial, you really want to get all of your damage done before Mastemon can get set up. But obviously, if Mastemon gets to play the game for too long, it's sort of it's a very creates difficult boards to get rid of. But I'm just setting up there, unfortunately putting a Davis on the bottom early, which it always hurts. You have no rookie?
Yeah, I think I just hard play Gatomon.
Oh no, there's the Gatomon.
Just sort of thinking if I want to hard play it to stop the memory boost, I think. But yeah, Gatomon set up early, and the Kari as well, so guaranteed 3 memory.
Yeah, I'm just going to set up a Dual Tamer there. Obviously, I know he's probably going to swing over this Vmon, but we need as many things on the board as possible while we have the memory to do so. Because clearly he's going to, he's going to try and Jogress early here.
As you can see, I do discard the Salamons almost every time, so since then I have gotten rid of those. They are very useless.
Is that another Gato?
I was thinking about another Gatsumon. Just go with the Tapiamon to lock you at 1.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna play in the raising area here, and yeah, I'm digging a little bit. There's clearly pieces I'm still missing. Grabbing that XP1, so that's good. At least we've got jamming, and we've got a blue level 3 in raising area, so I can evolve on next turn.
Yep. Hits HPD, so adds that to hand, which is fine for me. At least if I can get another swing next turn, that's good for me.
Yeah, and this is the sort of pressure, like, if we can't answer this against Mastemon early, and just he starts building up those level 5 and 6 bodies, it's very, very tough to get rid of.
Yeah, so again, they're missing the yellow level 5, but we have a pretty wide board here now anyway, so...
Just sort of thinking about what I can do here. Obviously, I don't have access to my memory boost.
He's going to trade into the Tapir, gives me a draw.
Yeah.
And just going to search even more again. So yeah, really missing on.
I think it might be the Stingmon we're looking for there. Maybe a green for this time. So either Lidramon or Stingmon. You can see I've got XP for days, which does help, but yeah, we without being able to jog rest, we can't get rid of his Gazis or his Gatomons very well.
Yeah. So you're going to swing with the Gazi, knowing we've got one in raising coming out next turn. Get the draw one, trash one, still looking for the yellow. Getting rid of Mastemon, I think I had 4 in hand at this point.
Yeah, I suppose it's a card you don't want to see too many of them when you're in. Yeah.
So yeah, evolve into the Anduin for 1. Thinking about here, yeah.
There's the jog rest coming down. He's going to clear off probably my XP mon, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe just recover.
I think I added the Gazi to my stacks. I didn't have a loose mon, but that's fine because we can still clear off the V-mon if we need to, and then we can obviously use Flame Health Scythe or anything else to clear other stuff.
Playing the Gato instead, so it's got max value for Jake there.
And hitting the Magna finally. Yes. Lady Debbie, so I think I'm going to go into another Mastemon here and just clear his board. It's going to make him have to set up completely again next turn. We did use 2 Gatomons in that one Mastemon stack, but obviously having the third one there is, going to secure us a second Mastemon here. Thinking about how much memory I'm going to give him.
Yeah.
Play the Flame Held Scythe. It is 6 cost versus having to play a Magna Angemon for...
Is that 7
7 instead.
1 less memory, but it does may as well.
I think it's still hard played anyway. I must have there. Oh. Not too sure what I've done there.
Yeah, at this point, obviously, we've been going for a while, so you know how the game states can get a little bit messy, but he's going to use his Loosemon to delete my Davis and Ken, and the Mastemon effect will delete my Vmon, so I've got nothing going on here. I do have a little bit of memory, but I can see, obviously, he's got the swings next turn to try and take me down, so I need to do everything I can to try and survive. So I'm just going to go for XVmon and pray that maybe our security has something good in it, maybe a Megadeth to try and bounce something back to his hand to stop that swing. So I'm just setting up with the blue memory boost. There's a Paildramon.
Yeah, and we're just sort of talking there. We've got the Gazi in raising, which will come out next turn. So even if I do hit Hammer Sparks in security, I'm just fine, unless I do obviously hit a Megadeth. So
yeah, Megadeth's probably the only thing that saves me here, and I'm just playing that Davis and Ken to try and make sure we have some advantage if we do manage to survive this turn. But it's 2 checks there, hits the Davis. So even if this last security is a Megadeth, that's game for Mastemon.
And that wraps up best of 3. Very close games, very thought out games. The video was, I think, 42 minutes long. We cut it back to 23 and a half. So
yeah, always play your own game at locals. You know, when you have people spectating or watching behind you, it gets easy to sort of listen to other people. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for the support on the channel so far, and we will be back with some more BT8 gameplay soon.
Catches.